So I got about 20 minutes of recording time, but I just wanted to tell like a short story real quick about the project, that I'm working on, right? Called Deliverance. And I know it's been a long time coming, but a lot of people don't understand what it's like being an independent or up and coming artist, right? To where like you could be the best artist, but you still be jacking for beats. You don't have a producer. You don't have the type of sound that you want to have. So I'm gonna explain the project Deliverance, right? Because like to me, I always wanted to like make and create timeless music, right? And like I was just hope that I could get a producer to work with me and make the type of music that I want to make, right? And long story short, I spent time just working on different avenues of the music business. Like first I was like a promoter, guy who's just kicking freestyles. Then I became a performer, and from a performer I started to become a more serious recording artist. And when I became a more serious recording artist, I was just like, I can't continue to record until I start working with like a bomb producer. And Doughboy, he had started working with Lex Luger, right? So I was like, man, I can't take no for an answer. And I know a lot of people, it's not a comparison. It's just like, for example, like, I could say Herbo G, right? He was like, I just did a summer jam with Nikki, and she might put me on a couple shows. I might hit the road, you know what I'm saying? So like, go ahead, OG. Look, you silent creeping. But like, so like, I had always wanted like that type of success for myself, to where it's like, all right, I'm gonna link up with the right type of people, and then I'm gonna produce the project. So I went through a lot of different production work. I started producing more shows and everything like that, and concerts, on top of doing more promotions. And then long story short, I just like got into like the energy of the industry a lot more, and I ended up going to Atlanta. And I was working with like this group of kids that was from the college, but they were just college students. And I know this is getting a little long-winded, but I wanted like a more professional sound, and we did make some great records that I put out on my SoundCloud and that you could probably still listen to. But I bumped into Jeff, Young Thug, in Atlanta, and he was like, oh, the studio around the corner. And I was working with like these rich folks, owned a farm in Georgia and all of this. And long story short, I didn't go to the studio then, but I had came right back, and I had laid out one of the tracks that I did with Cash Villa. And when I laid out the joint with Cash Villa, I grabbed some beats from some of the guys at Street Execs, and it came out pretty decent, right? And then when I got done with that, I just started exploring more. And then I jumped in the chat on Beat Talk, because y'all know I went to New York, and I made contact with Fat Joe, and Jadakiss and Young Miami got this dope record out right now, and I'm gonna play that later. But long story short, I seen Fat Joe talking about Cool and Dre and Beat Talk, and I jump in and I get to, you know what I'm saying, chatting a little bit and sending DMs and stuff like that with Fat Joe and Cool and Dre, and then before you know it, we got Deliverance done. It took me some time though, because like I was going through a lot of cases and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like breaking free of all the petty stuff they've been holding me back on the last couple of years, and we just about to get it done. But man, like that's why I'm calling it Deliverance, because it's like, in my eyes, I had like this mixtape, Mayday Volume 1. Then I did like another kind of like project where I did like another 10 songs, and I just released like just a few, like 6 or 7 of them with Cash Villa. That was kind of like just recording exercises. And this is like a more serious project where I would say it's like demo of the type of album work that I want to do. And I'm real confident on the product that we did. He gave me an opportunity, and it was just one joint, and I blazed the joint, and he liked it, and then he was like, man, that joint is slick. And it was some complications in the back office with that, but you know, the joint is on the way. It's called The Gaze. He said he don't want to talk about all that other shit because, you know, we got some new fire on there that's coming. Now that I can talk about it, it's going to be a joint called Dunce. And another joint called One Day. And there's some joints on there, man. There's some joints on there. I ain't going to talk about the best ones that I love the most just yet. But, you know, there's some joints on there, and I try to be a little shorter-winded with it, but I'm just on a stroll to the store real quick. And OG on the bike kind of threw me off, so I had to make it a little longer-winded, but, you know. OG, what up? So I had to make it a little longer-winded, but, yeah, that's the story of Deliverance. It's like, man, I'm going to deliver this project, man. I'm going to deliver. I ain't about to be dropping a bunch of mixtapes, jacking for beats. I'm going to deliver a solid project, you know, and to the hood, to the community. And you know, that's what I did, especially after meeting with like DJ Drama and Gotti and Fab. I just had that motivation, you know what I'm saying? I had that motivation to be like, man, I got to do it right. When I drop my project, man, it's going to be right. And a lot of people have been going like United Masters and stuff like that, but I really wanted to look at like a major deal off the jump, and, you know, here we are. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting shot, all type of weird shit out here. But you know what I'm saying? The community is so vibrant. Again, now we got a lot of black business that rolled into the community. Floods, Parachute. You know, so I mean, I guess things didn't go in vain. And you know, I keep getting these messages about, you know what I'm saying, not using certain things for profit and everything. So, you know, I ain't gonna use too much of the other side for profit. I'ma just, you know, be genuine and be real. And you know, I guess, you know, that's just it, man. You know, Cool and Dre gave me an opportunity, and you know what I'm saying, I met Cassius a while back, and you know what I'm saying, he gave me some solid advice, and now, you know what I'm saying, it's the world for us, you know. And you know, I know this a little long-winded, but you know, this just a little warm-up for the you know, I want to hear how I sound talking about it, you know, because I'm going to, like, narrow it down a little bit, but, you know, just short order, you know, because I would be in the clubs, you know, serving, you know, champagne and stuff like that, and, you know, promoting and stuff, and serving water and stuff, you know, outside doing promotions. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, just you know, I couldn't be, you know, I couldn't be outside my whole life. Yeah, so, you know, that's just a short, quick 10 minutes about Deliverance. We gonna chat about it again too, man. Just deliverance in a nutshell in 10 minutes. Peace and blessings.